Shangri-La Frontier is the hottest virtual reality MMORPG on the market right now. But is the anime any good? Well, that's what I hope to explore today on Exhausted Reviews, where I'm exhausted and I make reviews. And we're talking about the first 2 episodes, that's right, count them, 2 episodes of Shangri-La Frontier. So we're going to do a brief overview of the first episode, talk about the second episode plot, and then I'll give my overall thoughts and reviews on this show. So if you guys have already seen Shangri-La Frontier, sit back and enjoy the ride, and don't forget to smash that like button if you want me to talk about this show more, because it has seemingly flown under the radar for a lot of people. I haven't seen a lot of discussions regarding this show, but as you can tell from this beautiful impact frame that I have provided you, this show is truly built a little different. The actual first scene of the show is literally our main character he finally defeats the Demon King, and I'm watching this and like, man, these isekai shows have got to stop. But then, you don't realize at the end of this scene, he turns around and actually just beats the shit out of this girl. Just straight up smushed, tushed in the face. He rocks her, bro. I'm not gonna lie. He rocks her shit. Then I realized, oh, thank God, it's not an isekai. It's just a VR anime, a VR MMO anime. Sword Art Online without the isekai part. So he can get out of the game whenever he wants to, and that is actually how he ends up getting into this new game, Shangri-La Frontier. There's this girl who he knows that has a crush on him, and even at school, she was trying to talk to him, but she just couldn't work up the courage. And her, God bless her soul, she's too shy. But the shout out to the clerk, because she literally puts them on. When he comes in, he's like, hey, I finished that trash game that you recommended me. And she's like, oh, well, why don't you, you've been playing so many trash games. You should try out a real game. Because that's his whole deal, is that he loves trash games. The worse the game mechanic is, the more enjoyment he gets out of it. He just loves the cringe of being in a bad game. I don't know what it is. It's something about the challenge. He's some kind of masochist or something. Or maybe that's just, some people like to play games that are just bad, He's got a real angry video game nerd type energy to him. Without all the swearing. So yeah, shout out to it's like every time she was in the game, it was actually funny because like she kept causing like problems in the game, like hitting the princess he's supposed to be protecting is like hitting people with carriages and getting people killed while he's trying to save the universe. And he's really passionate about this stuff too. My guy is really into his games, and so she's like, all right, bro, you done trouncing on the bad games. Why don't you play a real game? And so yeah, that's how we get into, introduced into Shangri-La Frontier, which is the VMR MMO, as he starts building his character. And because he's a weirdo, he sells all his armor in the beginning and just literally walking around in his default underwear with a bird mask on. So he's trying to go for that mercenary build of like fast, agile, glass cannon build. That's his play style. And so he jumps into the game, and he does, a bit of some, instead of doing like the normal beginner stuff where he's like, oh, well, there's the first town, I could go there, but he's like, nah, let me just grind first. So then this really perfectly captures what it's like to start a new game, because I kind of do the same thing too. When I start like a new RPG, I will go out of my way to do a lot of grinding before I even like start engaging with like the system. Like the last game I played like that was Cassette Beasts. And the first thing I did in Cassette Beast was literally grind. Like, I was literally grinding. I'm pretty sure I was trying to find, I was grabbing for the Pom Bomb. It was a puppy. But yeah, he's out here grinding on goblins, killing people, getting dumb weapons, leveling up. And then he meets an actual, threat of an enemy. A little bunny rabbit, too. And this is what I have to say, for the most part, the fight scenes in the show are pretty good. They animate it pretty well. It's nothing mind-blowing, but they definitely are making do with what they have. And a lot of the impact frames especially are just super detailed. It's kind of funny too. Bro, his face right here after dodging the attack and just watching the tree fall down. The show is definitely a little more funny than people would want to give it credit for. Some of the animation quirks they do here are just funny. There's a lot of visual gags going on in the show. But yeah, this bunny is actually kind of insane. This dude is literally a vampire level. Dude looks like he's out here fighting Dracula in Castlevania Season 1. It is actually so that for him to even be able to dodge that, not even dodge, he counters it and crits this thing. And yeah, he gets he's like, damn, the thing had a cool sword, I want one. So he's literally just grinding. This first episode is literally him getting the game and grinding. And I gotta say, for a show that's about video games, it's kind of on point, you know. It's kind of on brand. I can't be too mad at it for him, you know, getting his grinding out of the way in the first episode, because at least it looked good. And then we have the funny part at the end of him being like, man, I grinded for so long, I'm a lot closer to the second town now too, so I might as well just go there. So then he tries to go to the second town, and the first episode ends with him being greeted by a mini boss guarding the snake bridge. And so he's like, oh, I should have gone to the first town, but you know what, you know, mom ain't raised no baby. So he's like, I'm going all in. And so yeah, he's like, he's a battle-hardened like veteran from playing all of his trash games, you know. This guy is pretty tough, if I do say so myself. And I do. So yeah, we don't get to see if he beats the snake in the first episode, but we do get to see the girl who recommended him, or who has a crush on him. She's literally like an adamantium tier level adventure, and she's literally just been waiting for him at the first town. And she's been like, oh, I want to play games with him, but I'm too shy to ask. So this was definitely a first episode that caught my attention, but I wanted to wait until the second episode to make a video about it, just to see where it would go and just how it would play out a little bit, and if they would, you know, delve into the game a little bit more. And they do. I'm quite happy with what they do, because this episode literally picks off right where the first episode ended. And she's, you know, our homegirl is still waiting for him outside of the starting town, and she's just like lost, bro. She literally takes the game off. She's like, bro, oh, I can't believe I missed him, bro. Not knowing that meanwhile he's out here having the fight of his life, trying to face off against the little like poison snake dragon. It's actually kind of hilarious, because he's like, I'm gonna make him my own weak point, and he starts getting crits, and it just like immediately heals, and he's like, fine, time for one last final attack. And it literally like shits poison on him, bro. It literally like he literally gets poisoned. I don't know if I think I might have skipped past that part, but yeah, he's like, it's kind of hilarious, because then he's like, as soon as the fight is over, he does eventually beat the little dude. You know, he beats the snake, but he's after he gets poisoned, he's like has to run to the hometown, and on his way to. No, well, not the hometown, the second town. But on his way to the second town, there's these two jobbers, two random other players, and he's like, I finally got my crush to play SLF with me, and now I'm looking like the veteran in front of her. She thinks I'm so cool, and then they're like, bro, who is this? And they see him running. And she really pulls out a bow and arrow. She's like, there's some kind of freak coming towards us. And it's funny, they explain in the game that if you kill another player, you get a skull icon by your name. So instead of being like Marl, it's Marl the killer. I've killed people before, and I'll kill again. But so he's running past him, and he's like, and my boy, shout out to this guy. He's like, dude probably got poisoned by the snake. Now he's booking it to the first town. So I'm gonna let him know, like, hey, there's the end that you want to go to. Run straight ahead. It's just right there. Make sure you get into a bed so you can set your respawn point. And, you know, he's like, thanks, dude. Appreciate it. And she's like, wow, you're a real veteran right now. And he's like, thank you, Birdman. Thank you, Birdman, for getting me for helping me increase my rids. Cause, you know, shout out to him. It's not every day you get to help a noob from dying, you know. This man just saved a noob's life. That is so brave and so courageous. I honestly, we gotta get at least 2,000 likes on this video for saving a noob's life, because everyone needs that moment in gaming. So he's able to make it, and then okay, so not gonna lie, this is another grinding episode. He's grinding for materials in this episode, and so but he's in a muddy ass swamp, so everything just takes super slow, and it's super long. But he ends up buying some clothes too. But he's grinding to get some material for new swords, and the guy's like, hey, you got a cool rock, I'm gonna give you these green swords. So yeah, now he's got some twin blades, and he's like, you know, he's really feeling himself, you know. He's got his armor, he's got his brand new weapons, and then the NPCs are like, yo, come back and we can do upgrades whenever. But also, there's some nocturnal monsters out, so be careful. So dude is like, oh, nocturnal monsters? Bet. So he heads out. Meanwhile, our home slice girl over here is trying to get to the beginner's area, and she literally one-shots the snake that took this dude the entire beginning of this episode to fight. and it poisoned him, and he had to run to town. She's out here just completely one-shotting it. She gotta be like a level 99 adamantium adventure or something, bro. This chick has no life. And now this dude is out here fighting like hobgoblins, bro. These dudes are even stronger than before. The animation is even better. And now all of a sudden there's like 7 and 8 of these guys, and like they all get. So like his bro was like, he's like, I'm so used to playing shitty games, but now that I'm playing a real game, this is kind of exciting. I can't wait to crush all these guys. And he's like, let's do it. So we get a really nice animated scene of him like dodging all their attacks. And I'm thinking like he tries to go in, they immediately get one shot, and I'm thinking, oh my god, his homegirl finally caught up to him. But I'm thinking like, really? Episode 2, they're not gonna like do anything with them like being on opposite ends of the map. They're just gonna end it at episode 2. Turns out, no sir. My boy encountered a unique monster. It's, what is it called? The Lycagon, bro. It's literally like some kind of like wolf dinosaur dog. This thing is like a wolf triceratops like built dragon. And then we cut to literally the Shangri-La server HQ, and you know we've got this little pop-up bubble that says unique monsters dispatched 0, progress 0%. So yeah, this is like, is he gonna be able to defeat a unique monster? I doubt it. But also at the same time, once his homegirl, I think his homegirl is gonna pull up on him in the next episode, and they'll be able to kind of take care of things together. That's my thoughts and my theories on this episode and the next episode. But what did you guys think of Shangri-La Frontier? I liked it. Honestly, this is a nice, fun, like easygoing show. I probably won't cover it every week. We'll see. Maybe I'll talk a little bit about it. But the show is very straightforward. It's mostly grinding and some action, which is what you'd expect in a video game show. I expect it to pick up a little more. Maybe if it does start to pick up, I'll make episodes the day of. But yeah, let me know what you guys think. Did you guys enjoy this episode? How do you feel about our main character? When do you think they will get together and finally start slaying monsters together? Let me know in the comments down below, and I will see you guys in the next video. Peace.